In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 NHL games happening on November 13th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets. As we provide these videos on a daily basis, I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 NHL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Dallas Stars versus Montreal Canadiens. This matchup looks quiet on the surface, but both teams bring enough skill and structure to turn a regular Thursday into a sharp test. Dallas arrives with a 10-4-3 record. Montreal stands at 10-4-2. Both clubs played on Tuesday, so both skate in with the same rest. Dallas has taken all of its last 5 by 2 goals or fewer. Montreal has lived in the same lane, with 3 of its last 5 decided by only 1 goal. Despite the 5-1 loss to Los Angeles on Tuesday, Dallas enters with a strong top group. Mikko Rantanen drives their attack and leads them with 23 points. Wyatt Johnston has scored 10 goals. Jason Robertson works well with them and leans on pressure in the slot. The Stars still carry real losses. Matt Duchene remains out with an upper body injury. Jamie Benn and Niels Lundqvist stay on long-term injured reserve. Adam Erne is also out. That leaves Dallas with talent but less insulation. They lean harder on their top line and core defense. Jake Oettinger gives them steady play in net, but his 2.89 goals against average and .896 save percentage show the defense has given up space at times. Montreal counters with speed and quick decisions. Nick Suzuki controls the pace and leads the club with 20 points and 16 assists. Cole Caulfield holds 12 goals and fires from all angles. Patrick Lane remains out after core muscle surgery and is expected to return near the end of February, but the Canadiens' remaining forwards carry the load well. Jakob Dobes has taken the net and delivered a 2.25 goals against and 6 wins. His calm style fits a team that likes to draw opponents into mistakes. Montreal's numbers show they stay close in most games and find answers late. The matchup swings on the fine edges. Montreal gets last change at home, which lets them keep Suzuki's line in the matchups they want. Dallas still plays a smart road game, but the short bench from injuries narrows their margin. When a game shapes up as a coin flip, the puck line matters. A 1-goal loss still pays the underdog ticket. The home crowd and the recent form give Montreal enough stability to make that extra goal and a half count. As our first pick for this matchup, the Montreal Canadiens to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The total brings a different kind of picture. Both clubs score at a steady rate. Dallas averages 2.94 goals for and 3.06 against. Montreal averages 3.634 and 3.19 against. That adds up to about 6.6 goals per game between them, above the current total of 5.5. The trend supports that number. 9 Dallas games have cleared 5.5. 13 Montreal games have cleared it. That's 22 overs out of their 33 combined games. The power plays add to the push. Dallas leads the league in power play goals and ranks second in percentage at roughly 33%. Montreal ranks 5th at about 26%. Both teams score with simple zone entries and clean puck movement. Dallas also leads the league in high-danger shots on goal. Robertson and Johnston sit high on the league list for high-danger attempts. Their chances come from the slot and the crease. Montreal plays a similar game, leaning on quick movement and pressure in transition. The recent scores show that the pace has opened. Dallas has played in 7-5 and 5-4 games. Montreal has scored 4 and 6 in recent outings before the loss to Los Angeles. These are not two clubs settling into low-event hockey. The only element that could tilt the total the other way is the rare game where the goaltenders steal the night. That outcome is always possible, but it rests in the realm of outliers. The season data, the scoring profiles, and the special teams numbers all point in the same direction. This matchup leans toward offense and a clean path to 6 goals. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington Capitals versus Florida Panthers. Florida and Washington enter this matchup with the same record, but they look nothing alike on the ice. Florida plays through injuries to its key stars and still leans on a steady structure that keeps the group pointed forward. The team carries the weight of missing Barkov, Tkachuk, Nosek, Vilmanis, and Godjovic, yet it keeps its shape and refuses to drift. The recent road swing showed that. They went into loud buildings, stayed patient, and closed out tight games. The win in Vegas summed up the mood. Bobrovsky stayed sharp, the blue line held its ground, and the forward group worked in layers. Marchand continues to lead the scoring load. Reinhart fills gaps without hesitation, and the defense pair of Ekblad and Forsling keeps the middle of the ice clean. Washington brings a different feel. The team defends well, plays in low space, and cuts off passing lanes at even strength. Their numbers show a group that slows games and waits for mistakes. But the power play struggles, the penalty kill gives up lanes, and the injury to Dubois leaves a dent down the middle. When these two styles meet, Florida's home ice gives it steady footing. The Panthers handle the Caps well in this building, and their depth still tilts matchups even without their biggest names. They grind, rotate, and lean on structure when the scoreboard stalls. With that edge in a matchup that often comes down to pressure shifts and controlled breakouts, as our first pick for this matchup, the Florida Panthers money line is our full game side pick. The total brings a different puzzle. Washington pushes games toward tight scores through patience, strong gaps, and quick clears. Their season profile leans under, and most of their matchups in the conference follow that pattern. Florida's special teams hold steady but leave cracks in the penalty kill, and Washington's power play has trouble turning setup time into goals. On paper, this looks like a game that sits still for long stretches, yet both teams show a way of reaching 3 goals even when they play cautious. Florida creates enough pressure at 5-on-5 to force turnovers, and Washington finds pockets of space off broken plays. Both penalty kills show soft spots, and those single breakdowns carry weight in a game that does not need many swings to hit the number. Add an empty net scramble late, and a quiet scoreboard can shift fast. This matchup reads like a slow burn that still reaches a workable goal count by the end. With that in mind, as our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Edmonton Oilers versus Columbus Blue Jackets. The first meeting between these two was a mess in the best way. Edmonton built a 3-goal lead, lost every bit of it, and still needed overtime to escape with a 5-4 win. The game felt less like November hockey and more like two teams trying to break each other's rhythm for 60 straight minutes. Columbus pushed pace at even strength. Edmonton leaned on its top-end talent. Neither team found a way to settle in. With that result fresh in their minds, both sides now walk into a rematch that arrives fast and without much rest. The Blue Jackets flew home from Seattle after a tight 2-1 shootout win. The Oilers spent their Wednesday grinding through Philadelphia. Fatigue hangs over both benches, and it sets the stage for another game where execution may lag, but instincts stay sharp. Stylistically, the matchup still turns on one pressure point. Edmonton brings a power play that runs at 32.6%. Columbus counters with a penalty kill that sits at 72.7% and has struggled to buy breathing room. That mismatch stays real even with the Oilers' short 2 regular forwards. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins remains on injured reserve until at least November 17th. Kasperi Kapanen remains on long-term injured reserve. Edmonton still leans on Connor McDavid's steady production and Leon Draisaitl's scoring touch. They anchor the attack and let the rest of the lineup slot in behind them. The blue line has some stability with Evan Bouchard, Matthias Ekholm, and Jake Wallman. Columbus has capable pieces as well. Kirill Marchenko drives their scoring. Adam Fantilli and Sean Monahan give them strength down the middle. Boone Jenner and Kent Johnson sit in day-to-day territory and may or may not dress. Eric Goodbranson stays on injured reserve. This leaves the Jackets without one of their heavier defenders while they try to contain an Oilers roster that tilts the ice when it wins the puck. The market reflects these edges. Edmonton sits as a small road favorite near -120. Columbus holds slight home underdog value. When a game leans on high-danger swings and special teams, the side with the cleaner scoring path tends to hold the advantage. As our first pick for this matchup, the Edmonton Oilers money line is our full game side pick. Now the total. These two play games that rarely stay quiet. Edmonton averages 3.06 goals for and 3.47 against. Columbus averages 3.004 and 3.19 against. Their shot rates add to the picture. Columbus fires 32.1 shots a night and gives up 31.6. Edmonton takes fewer shots at 28.3 but has the finishing talent to turn fewer chances into real pressure. Their recent games follow the same pattern. The Oilers posted totals of 9, 10, 7, 5, and 5. The Jackets posted 3, 9, 7, 6, and 5. Their head-to-head earlier this week landed on 9. These numbers tell a simple story. Their games open up, and once the ice opens, it rarely closes again. Goaltending adds another layer. Stuart Skinner sits at an .883 save percentage. Calvin Pickard sits at .836. Both can settle in, but neither locks down a game by force. Columbus has steadier numbers with Jet Greaves at .901 and Elvis Mertzlikins at .909, but they still play behind a team that trades looks on both ends. With both clubs carrying travel fatigue and both defenses prone to stretch shifts, this rematch sets up for another night where offense appears easier to find than structure. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Buffalo Sabres versus Colorado Avalanche. Colorado walks into this matchup with the calm certainty of a team that knows exactly who it is and why it wins. They sit at the top of the league with an 11-1-5 record and carry the kind of balance that gives coaches quiet nights and opponents loud headaches. Their scoring pace stays steady at more than 4 goals a game. Their defense holds firm near the top of the league. They keep a clean sheet at home with no regulation losses, and they skate with purpose in Denver's thin air. Buffalo arrives without a road win this season and drags a roster missing key players at every level. Their captain sits out on personal leave. Several forwards remain on injured reserve. The Sabres look stretched thin, and this trip through altitude rarely shows mercy. Colorado's depth is also tested, but their main engines stay healthy and produce. They control shot volume, they impose structure, and they tilt the ice for long stretches. This matchup places a top-tier roster at home against a short-handed team still trying to find its rhythm. As our first pick for this matchup, the Colorado Avalanche to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. At first glance, it feels like a natural spot for goals since Colorado tends to score at a steady rate at home. But the numbers lean toward a slower scoreboard. Colorado scores 4 a night and allows a little over 2. Their penalty kill stays reliable and keeps games from opening up when opponents get chances. Buffalo scores under 3 per game and their power play stays average. Their penalty kill looks strong, but it does not produce extra offense. With several key players out, their attack loses both creativity and finish. They now lean on fewer options, which makes it easier for a disciplined home team to squeeze them. Colorado just showed how they handle a game when they get the lead. They shut Anaheim down and let the final minutes slide by without chaos. That kind of approach keeps totals in check. Buffalo's current issues do the same. Missing depth and skating tired, they often struggle to finish chances. This sets the stage for a matchup where one team controls pace and the other fights to keep the game simple rather than high risk. That mix tends to mute the scoring unless the favorite pushes the game wide open on its own, and that outcome sits in the speculative column rather than the data. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Islanders versus Vegas Golden Knights. The Strip shines bright, but this matchup sits in the shadows where the numbers often tell a clearer story. Vegas still carries the price tag of a powerhouse, even though recent games show a team fighting to hold its shape. The Islanders arrive with steady road form, 2 strong wins in New York, and a top line that has produced night after night. Their goaltending has settled, and their scoring depth shows up in key moments. Vegas, meanwhile, misses core players in every zone and carries a stretch of games where the goals against stack up fast. Their replacement pieces work hard, but they carry more weight than planned. The Islanders also keep most games tight, and their style leans toward controlled pressure rather than reckless offense. That often keeps them within reach, even when the matchup leans uphill on paper. All signs point toward a closer contest than the line suggests, and that gap between market expectation and recent form opens a lane worth noting as our first pick for this matchup. Both teams land near that range when you pair their goals for and against. That makes the number feel honest. Special teams tilt the board in interesting ways. Vegas runs a sharp power play and a shaky penalty kill. The Islanders run an ordinary power play but a penalty kill that has settled into form after a rough stretch last season. Despite those swings on special teams, the recent game flow pushes toward calmer hockey. Vegas games have dropped into tighter rhythms. Their scoring leans on the same cluster of players, and the injuries to Stone, Hill, and possibly Carlson close off some of their speed in transition. The Islanders play with a simple structure on the road and do not force the issue unless they have the jump early. They trust Sorokin to keep games steady when the ice tightens. They trust their first line to take the chances that do come. They do not chase loose play on long trips. That mix from both sides hints at slower periods, longer shifts in the neutral zone, and coaches who protect leads instead of chasing wide score lines. With all of that in view, as our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.